Hello, everyone. This is Vinny Tremaine, and welcome to the first episode of a video segment that I've been saying I was going to do for a while. And I'm going to be doing it on different shows. It's called Plot Point. And I really wanted to focus in on specific storylines on each show that I feel are interesting that need to be spotlighted rather than talking about the whole show. We're really focusing on specific storylines, which is why it's called Plot Point. But you know the drill. Before we move forward, please go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. It's free, helps the channel out a lot. Also, you can go ahead and leave a comment as well. That helps out the channel as well. That's all free. And you can also try the membership where you get early access to videos, exclusive videos, and so much more. So here we go. We're going to be talking about Young and the Restless, where I'm going to be focused on Sally and Victoria for the Young and the Restless August the 17th episode. So we're going to begin with Sally lecturing Adam on ending his feud with Victor and Nick. She tells him to grow up. She doesn't realize she's about to get a taste of how Adam is treated by Victor. So I had actually saw the end of the episode before, because it was on Twitter, before I saw the beginning. And I didn't realize that Sally was over here telling Adam, he needs to treat Victor and Nick better when we get a good taste of Nick and how much he hates Adam in this episode, as well as Victor being Victor. But we're going to be moving on because as I was mentioned, good old Nick is in this episode. So meanwhile, Nick is whining and sharing about how he can't get away from Adam. Meanwhile, he has Adam's son, Adam's girlfriend, and a stake in Adam's company. And yet he can't figure out why he can't seem to get Adam out of his life. At the end of the episode, Nick is ready for a fight with Adam, with him when him and Sharon rename the company to SNA Media. That's Sharon Nick Adam Media. And he seems mad when Adam agrees to the name change. He was heated that Adam said okay and didn't want to fight and try to keep the name Augustus. So he was big mad at Adam. Uh, but viewers know that what he's really mad at currently when it comes to Adam is that Sally was in Adam's apartment while he was gone out of town. It really shows how insecure he is about his relationship with Sally. That even when he was talking to Sharon, Sally just popped out his mouth real quick, because he can't go off on Sally, so he has to direct all his anger to Adam. And then we get to, oh, poor old Sally Spectra. She's been made a fool of again because, well, Victor's gonna Victor. He got Sally to quit working with Hamilton Winter's project, and then he got another firm to do the job. And just when Sally happily accepts his job offer, he tells her he's changed his mind and he dismisses her like the trash. He basically is like, I got a call, get out. and Sally is left devastated because she can't go back to her, working on Hamilton Winter's job. She has been royally screwed by Victor. And maybe now she knows how Adam feels. But are we tired yet? Are we tired of seeing Sally and Chloe struggle to find employment? It's been about 2 years of struggle, and I think we are ready to move on. Just give them a job and move on to the next part of the storyline. Because in the beginning of the episode, Sally wanted to know what Adam was trying to tell her before Nick showed up in the apartment. She seemed disappointed that he didn't want to talk about them getting together and being in a relationship. He wanted to offer her a job because at the time he thought that he had Audra on the ropes and that he was about to get Newman Media, and he wanted her to help him, with Newman Media. But now that's gone too. That opportunity is gone too. So now we're moving on to Victoria as we get a scene with Victoria and Billy. And she talks about Billy, about her situation with Nate betraying her. by not telling her what was going on with Audra. And Billy lets her know that Nate isn't good enough for her. He reminds her that he stabbed his family in the back due to his ambition, and that she really need a man like that in her life. When she sees Nate, she basically tells him that she can't trust him and wants to slow down. Even when he tells her he's fallen in love with her, she's suspicious and eventually does what her father did with Sally. She dismisses him like the help, like the trash. She didn't even want the D. She just wanted him to get out. She felt betrayed. And there's also a plot point in what she talked about with Billy, where, Billy talked about, his ambition and different things. And they were talking about their kids and whether or not they're going to boarding school. And Victoria, when she mentions it to Nate, he goes on and on about why it's such a good idea for the kids to go to boarding school because the daughter can be doing ballet and the son can be doing whatever he's doing. And she's like, "Oh, so you really listen to everything I say?" He was like, "Yeah." And then she was looking at him like, "Oh, you really trying to play me?" But them as a couple has always been an issue with me. So let me go ahead and change this to Victoria Nate. So it's always been it because of the power dynamics in the relationship. It seems like more of a power play for Victoria, taking Nate from Elena and having an affair. She loved Nate's ambition, but she also realized that business wise, he was submissive to her. She had control, and it just felt wrong that it seemed that it was more about control and power over her new plaything and not anything romantic or real. He really seemed like a sex object, her black bull, so to speak. Now she realizes that she might be getting played instead of her being playful with her plaything. And Nate's role is very shaky because of the power dynamics Victoria and Victor have over him. And well, one that's definitely grounds for a lawsuit. Uh, you know, Harassment potentially he could sue for if just because of the power dynamics of her role versus his. And I don't think they'll go there. If Nate ever gets fired, I think he'll just slink away with his tail between his legs. But he's playing a game that he can't win. Victor already told him Newman will only be run by Newman. So what is Nate doing? you know, what his end game. And even though Audrey hinted that he should propose to Victoria, with her not trusting him, that would be a huge mistake on his part. So those are the plot points that I want to talk about. How do you feel about the dynamics in Victoria and Nate's relationship? I know a lot of people call Nate the snake now, but uh, but if he was the woman and she was the man, you could really see how the powerful dynamics of his relationship would sort of shake out. Let's say if Victor was screwing Audra, and then her job was hanging on by a nail or a thread, and one day he didn't use her and cast her off, and yeah, Audra could sue. She could say, she felt that she did what she did because her job was in jeopardy. And that's a dynamic that a lot of people can understand. But when the roles are reversed and it's a man, it sort of plays out differently. And then uh, there's also the racial politics of their situation as well. But not going to get into that. If you know, you know. And if you care, you care. But that and Sally, oh man, I love Sally from Bold and Beautiful. And Young and the Restless really makes her struggle and have to just be hanging on. They got rid of her baby. They ended her relationship with Adam. Adam, she still clearly has feelings for Adam, and it's just it's just bad how Sally is always uh, behind the eight ball. So now I'm done. Let's go ahead and hit the comment section and let me know about how you feel about Sally Spectra, how she's treated on the show. Are you ready for them to give her a break for a change? And what do you think her next move should be? If she takes a job with Adam, Nick, and Sharon, then she's still under the Newman umbrella and she's still under, can be played for a fool by Victor. So, how would you like for this to play out? Personally, I think Adam and Sally should just have their own company and call it a day. But what do you think? All right, everybody. I've spoken on this topic all I can, and I will see you in the next video and in the comment section.